Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Liz. It's currently about 9 in the morning and my family is still asleep. So I came into Journey's room, in her room in front of her closet. I wanted to make this video really quick about my experience while staying in the NICU with my baby. If y'all haven't already seen, I recorded a video about my preterm labor experience. So I kept saying that I was gonna record a video speaking about my experience while in the NICU. And if y'all watch Cole and Sav, y'all will know that their little baby Zealand, he just recently came home from the NICU. As I was watching their videos, I just was flooded with all those feelings that I felt I remember while my baby was in the NICU. So I was like, I think it's time for me to make this video. I actually watch my views, like I look at my analytics as far as my videos on my channel, and I noticed that the video that had the most views was the one about my preterm labor. So I realized that there are women out there that are maybe going through this and they need, more advice, or not just advice, but they need to know that they're not alone. They need to know that they can get through that experience, that they can, get through it. It's hard. That one, is hard to experience that, and two, they'll get through it and they'll be able to, look back on it, and it'll be just a part of their lives that, that they got through. And so I'm going to talk about my NICU experience. So if you haven't watched my video, I'll link it down, the one about my preterm labor experience. So I'll just begin with the day I went home from the hospital and I had to leave her there. So first of all, she was there for 1 month and 1 week. So she was born on June 13th and she came home on July maybe 19th or something. So it wasn't a full week. It was like almost a week. So it might have been the 19th. July 19th is the day she came home. It was very long. Well, both of my babies stayed in 2 different hospitals. The good thing about it, the one that Journey stayed in, was she had a suite. So it was like her incubator that she stayed in, and then there was like a twin size sofa bed, so we were able to come and stay with her as often as we wanted to. The thing about that though, I had a C-section. If you didn't watch my other video, I had a C-section, and so I wasn't able to really sleep on it because it wasn't comfortable. So I had to go home and give myself some time to heal before I actually spent the night overnight. I wasn't able to see her until probably 3 days after she was born, because my blood pressure was high. So they had to get it down before I could leave my room and go and see her. So the nurses, they were really sweet. They sent us pictures, like they would take pictures, print them out, and send them to us so we could see her while she was there. My husband, he went to see her often. He would take videos and bring them back to me so that I could see her while she was in there. And when she was there, when she first got there, she was on oxygen. She had all the things monitoring her heart and everything on her chest. She did have a heart murmur, so she had the thing on monitoring her heart. She had a little small hole in her heart, and then she had a feeding tube in her nose, and she had oxygen, and of course an IV. So she had quite a bit of things on her when she first went to the NICU. Of course, it took her about 1 or 2 days to get off oxygen, so she was breathing on her own really quickly. Also, when I went to see her, I was under the impression that I would be able to hold her, but I wasn't able to hold her just because she was under something called a bilirubin light, because her jaundice levels were a little high, so they had the little black mask on her eyes to cover her eyes, and you know, the rays from the light were getting that jaundice out of her system. So that was that also. I went home, and then my plan was to breastfeed. So they gave me the NICU. They gave me so many things to take home. Like, they started me off with my breastfeeding package, basically. They gave me bags, they gave me bottles, they gave me labels for those bottles and bags. They gave me the little nipple guards for that. They gave me it was a lot of stuff. Oh, they gave me linoleum, the cream. They gave me breast pads to cover so I wouldn't leak. It was a lot of things that they gave me, and the breastfeeding consultant, she came in and helped me get started because my baby wasn't there to latch. So I had to basically get started on my own, which was hard also. But you know, it at the time I wasn't thinking, oh, this is hard, I don't want to do it. I was basically just, you know, just doing what I had to do for my baby. I would, whenever I went home, I started pumping every 2 hours. I would have to set timers because, of course, my baby was in the NICU, so I couldn't, you know, I needed something to wake me up because the baby wasn't there. So I would do that, set my timers, wake up every 2 hours, and pump my breast every 2 hours. And y'all, I had so much milk. I would bring it to the NICU for them to give to her. And it got to the point where they were like, don't bring any more milk. We have enough. It was so much milk. And then we had a deep freezer. It was full. The deep freezer was full of milk. So it's that. And then the process of visiting the NICU was, each time we came, we had to sign in. We had to show our license. And so after that, we would get our temperature taken from our forehead. And then we would have to wash our hands and, you know, all that stuff. And then we could go to the back and see her. It took her about, I remember them going back and forth with everything. And that was the most heartbreaking part about having a baby in the NICU, is the back and forth. Because you think you're getting good news, and then you get good news that, oh, she's off this, and then like a night will pass by, and then the next day it'll be like you'll come in and she's back on it, and it was just like, oh, like, come on, you know, you'll take 3 steps forward and then you'll get pushed back 5 more steps because, you know, like, for example, she was in the incubator because she couldn't hold her temperature, so she had to be warmed all the time. And one day we came in and she was in the crib, and I was like, oh my gosh, she was in the open crib. So we were really excited about that because it was one step closer to coming home. And then we came back and she was back in the incubator because she didn't hold her temperature overnight. So it was things like that that were just really heartbreaking, because you feel like your baby is gonna come home soon, and then you get pushed back again. But it was hard. Also, the nurses at Women's Hospital were freaking amazing. Like, they would call us, and give us updates. They would text me pictures of her. They dressed them up in cute little outfits. Also, they gave Journey a nickname in the NICU. They call her Miss Prissy because she was so prissy, y'all. And what's funny is now she is still really prissy. Like, she's so girly. But I thought that was pretty cute. Okay, another challenge that we had while she was in the NICU was her learning to suck. So when babies are born, they're born with the ability to suck, breathe, and swallow without choking themselves. Well, Journey, she was born at 32 weeks, so she didn't have that automatically. She had to work to get that. So they would have therapists come in to help her practice sucking, breathing, and swallowing. And y'all, honestly, the nurse, whenever we asked, because Jawan and I, we were asked, can we come to her sessions to her therapy sessions to see how it goes. And the nurse, she warned us, she was like, we urge parents to come in, to come and see the process, of course, but I just want to warn y'all, it's hard to watch them when they're learning how to do that, because they get tired, they start breathing hard, because they don't know how to, they don't know how to do it effectively to where they won't tire themselves out. So I was like, okay, but me being a mom, I want to be involved in everything that my child is doing. So I was just so excited, y'all. I was, we're going to her session, And then when we got there and we were watching, it was just so hard to watch. Like she would suck, like she was sucking slow, and then she would just start breathing. Because she had to catch her breath, and so it was hard to watch. And they told us, they said it's not like a certain amount of time that it takes for them to get that. It's just something that snaps in their mind, and then all of a sudden it clicks and they get it. And so it took her, I think she was, I think she was about 35 weeks when she finally got it. So that was a good thing. And also they gave her little toys. They would have us come in. Once she got out of her incubator and she was in an open crib, everything, we would come in and we would take over as her parents. They urged us to do that. Like when we came in, we would change her diapers, we would feed her. By the time she was, able to feed her, able to suck her own bottle and everything, we would come in, we would change her diaper, just be a regular parent. And that was my favorite part about it. Because I knew she was coming home soon, I was like, okay, they're getting us ready. Also, another good thing about that hospital, they offered us CPR classes. So before she came home, we did a CPR certification. We did a SEEDS class about this, taught us about SEEDS and how we need to have her sleep a certain way. Just signs to look for different things. It was anything that's dealing with a baby, they offered us a class for it, just so when we go home, we would be ready for anything to happen. The part about being a NICU mom that nobody prepared me for was bringing your baby home. So she would have these episodes where her heart rate would drop and then it would slowly come back up. While we were in the NICU, of course they had everything monitoring her heart and everything. So we would be able to see it on the monitor that her heart rate dropped and then it came back up, and they would be able to catch it, and they would do things to her chest to get her heart rate to come back up. So when I took her home, it not having the monitors on and not knowing when something is happening was the thing that made me really, just nervous and scared about it, about bringing her home, because the monitors were no longer there, the nurses were no longer there. It was just you and your baby. So I think I wish I was prepared for that. I think I was just so excited to have her home that I didn't it didn't register that it's just gonna be you. So well, first of all, if y'all have any questions, y'all can leave them down below in the comments. And also, I just want to speak to the current NICU moms right now, the ones that are in the hospital right now with your baby. I know it's really nothing that I can say that will, make it better or, change the situation, but hopefully I can send you some comfort that your baby will be okay. I know it's hard seeing them with all the things on them. And I know my baby was there for a month. I know there are some moms who have been there for more than that, for longer, for 5 months, you know, for a whole year. And I know it's hard, and I just want to send you love and good, you know, prayers, good vibes, and just want to uplift you guys' spirits because I know it's hard, and even the dads too, because I know my husband, it was hard for him having to go back to work knowing your baby is in the NICU and your wife is home after she had a C-section. So I know it's hard for the dads too. So for all the NICU parents, I just want to send my well wishes. Your baby is going to get out of the NICU. They'll be home with you guys, and I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.